You're a parent and you have a job. That job is to keep your children safe, happy, and healthy. The job sounds easy, but what if you're not the children's biological parent? Should that matter? No, it shouldn't, but sometimes it does. Step parenting is a role that must be taken with extra care because you never want to give the impression that you're taking the place of a biological parent. It skates a fine line between parenting and mentoring. The relationship with stepchildren is often tough, but it can also be a wonderful experience. So I would like to share some difficulties as well as joys of step parenting. Difficulty usually arises in the beginning of the relationship with your spouse in the form of jealousy. Think about it. Since their parents divorced, these children have had mom or dad's undivided attention. Now you're in the picture. They no longer have mom or dad's undivided attention. So naturally, these kids are going to become jealous. Once jealousy sets in, they're going to do one of two things: compete or rebel. In my case, I noticed that my stepchildren tended to compete with me for their dad's attention. But in most cases, the children would tend to rebel. They rebel by disassociating themselves from you, the family, and oftentimes getting into trouble. They may also rebel if they feel threatened that you are trying to replace that biological parent. So it's very imperative that you avoid doing that because it will destroy all attempts to build a relationship with the children. In addition to jealousy and rebellion, you and your spouse can pose another challenge to the relationship by way of opposing parenting styles. In any event, the children are going to be partial to the biological parent's style because that's what they're used to, that's what they've known all of their lives. So it's up to you and your spouse to kind of meet in the middle and compromise, and of course stand united on parenting issues, especially when it comes to disciplining children. If you fail to do so, it will make matters worse for not only you and the children, but also you and your spouse. Once you've gotten past the gloom and doom, you begin to see light at the end of the tunnel. Step parenting isn't all that bad because for me, I mean something to my stepchildren and they mean something to me. In essence, I feel as though I'm filling that void of that missing parent. Now, don't confuse filling a void with replacing that parent. There is a difference. You kind of provide that mother or that father figure that all children need. In that aspect, you are able to build a relationship and bond with the children. For example, my stepdaughter and I, we go shopping, and she's a teenager, so we talk about boys. We read books together. She's really into the Twilight and the vampire love stories. So I've taken up a hobby of reading those books so that she and I would have things to talk about. My stepson, he's motivated me to play video games, and I hate video games. I'm just not a video game fan, but I do it because that is my way of bonding with him. By bonding and building a relationship with my children, and note that I said my children, not stepchildren, they eventually began to refer to me as their mom. Trust me, I thought that I would just break down and boo-hoo and sob the first day that my daughter introduced me to her friends as her mom. That was the best introduction that I think I've ever had in my life, and I don't think an introduction after that will ever top it. And I hold them in the same regard. In all of my conversations and introductions, they are referred to as my son and my daughter. No one would ever know that these aren't my stepchildren if we didn't tell you, because they're always my kids. I've grown to love them dearly, and I sense that they feel the same way about me. Step parenting is complex, bringing many challenges, but you owe it to yourself, your spouse, and most importantly, the children to adapt and overcome. Learn to grow and flourish as a new parent and love your children, all of them.